Hi friends! So today I'm going to be talking about all of the curriculum that we are not going to be using in our upcoming school year. We are basically overhauling our entire homeschool and it's a little bit crazy. A lot of these books are ones that we have loved using for a lot of years now, and we just needed something a little bit lower maintenance, I guess, for this next school year. So let me show you what I've got. So I'm looking at all of these curriculum choices that I have loved for so long, and it's a little bit sad to see some of them go. This doesn't mean that I won't bring them back at some point, but at least for this school year, we really did feel the need to make a lot of changes, try to combine a lot of things, and make our school days a little bit shorter. So I'm going to go ahead and dig into all these piles of things that I have here on my table, and I will talk about the why of everything as I go along. I will say that I did do a video of what I am going to be doing already for next year. And so I'll link that in the cards above, and I'll see if I can get it in the description box below too. I don't know if that's easier for you guys or not. But while I'm at a stopping point, I would love for you, if you are brand new to this channel, to click the subscribe button. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button and the notification bell, just so you can get notified when I post another video. Okay. So let's start with science, since that's at the top of the stack. My beloved Nancy Larson science is going. The reason being for that is nothing to do with Nancy Larson science, which I have done another video about that, so I'll link that one as well. We love Nancy Larson science. It is super easy for the teacher. It is very open and go. They will even warn you when you need to start collecting things or ordering things. They like do bug vouchers and things like that through the curriculum. The science kit comes with most of the things that you would need, unless it would be like a toilet paper tube or, you know, something that you would definitely have around your house. We are going to start using Harbor and Sprout next year, because I can use Harbor and Sprout for all three of my students. With Nancy Larson, I was going to have a second grader, a fourth grader, and a fifth grader, and the fourth grader and fifth grader could definitely use the same grade level, but my second grader was not going to be able to keep up with them academically yet. So I went with something that I could do as a family subject instead of having to do science separately for the kids, for all three kids. Okay, next up, Story of the World. We have used this curriculum for so long. I think 4 years. So Story of the World is a great curriculum. It comes with CDs, so you can listen to the lessons, so mom's not having to read it, a kid's not having to read it. It comes with a great, all of the stuff that you really need is in this one book. So this is the textbook, but it's read on these CDs. So if you don't want to get the textbook, you don't have to. All the resources, man, you guys, all the resources are in this book here. So it has all of your projects, discussion questions, extra literature suggestions in here, and then it has workbook pages. That is not a great example of one, since it's just a coloring page. Map work, and different kinds of games and things like that. And also there's a test booklet, but we've never used that. I'm gonna move into California history with my kids. I'll have a fourth grader and a fifth grader. Typically you do state history in fourth grade. Not that you have to, but I enjoyed doing state history when I was in fourth grade. And we're hoping to take a family trip up to Sacramento at the end of the year to see all of the California history sites and stay with some family up there. We're doing the Beautiful Feet Around California curriculum instead of the Story of the World this year. I probably will put Story of the World aside because so far so good with the Beautiful Feet stuff. I've been kind of studying up on how to use it, and they have quite a few different ones. So I like the literature-based approach, and I think my kids will too. So likely we will be continuing on with Beautiful Feet history from now on until we run out of that, and then maybe we'll circle back to Story of the World. Okay, so next up is language arts. We're keeping all of our math curriculum that we have been using, so there's no changes there, but almost everything else has changed for us for next year. So the reason that I'm switching language arts curricula is because I have had my kids doing like a whole bunch of different subjects, and the one that we chose to do kind of combines it all into one. But all of these are such good choices, so please don't discount them because I'm not going to be using them. First up, this is kind of another one of those, like I have mentioned, Nancy Larson Science is like a hidden gem in the homeschool world. I also feel like this Jack Crisp Publishing company is also a hidden gem. We really have enjoyed Growing with Grammar and their counterpart, Sorting with Spelling. There's a writing one too, but we use IEW for writing, so we didn't go with that. So I can't speak to that, but I do know that Sorting with Spelling and Growing with Grammar have been great resources. So, and they did change it from the top spiral to a side spiral, and you'll see that in our spelling because it was a newer purchase. But all of these worksheets have, I'm trying to find one that is not written on, just because, well, I think she finished this entire book. So there's a lot of different kinds of activities and even games sometimes as you work through these worksheets. Once you get up to level 3, I think, it comes with a separate like textbook kind of book, but before that they're pretty easy to figure out on your own. You don't really need that. They do come with an answer booklet though. Soaring with Spelling is such a fun curriculum, you guys. So it has days 1 through 5. So it is an every day. We actually do like a 4-day school week as far as textbooks go, but my kids did the pretest, and if they got all of the words right on the pretest, then I didn't make them take a final test. So that was how we kind of got around that. If they needed to take a final test, then we would just go ahead and do that on Fridays. But for the most part, they didn't really need to do that. So it's got all of your, it has all of your spelling words and definitions to make them into vocabulary words as well. Then you do a pretest, and then there's activities and crossword puzzles and games and things like that to make the spelling lessons into something that is fun for your student. So we really did enjoy this. Like I said, our new curriculum is going to be all of these things inclusive. So except for we could skip doing writing as well, but we are going to continue with IEW because we've just had such good luck with it. So the next one I have here is from Blackbird & Co. These are their literature guides, and actually I stopped using these partway through the year this year. They come with, there's like a whole bunch. You can buy a whole package of them. It comes with, I don't remember how many of each, but it's several. It's enough for the whole year. So this is a level 1 and a level 2. I had Ellie in level 1 and Beth in level 2 this year. I ended up stopping these because we were doing all of these other things, and it was just too much to add on top for the kids to do the literature guides. But I did have them read each of the books, and then they circled back and read each other's books too. But these literature guides are pretty great if you're not going to also do another full writing curriculum with your kids. It just ended up being too much for my students. So they have the book in sections. So you'll read, for instance, for A Mouse Called Wolf, chapters 1 through 3. Then you write about a few of the characters. So this one's got Wolfgang Amadeus Mouse and Mary. And then you write about a setting, a plot. There's vocab, and then lots of comprehension questions, and then a writing exercise at the end of the week. So we're not using those. We are going to be using a very literature-based language arts curriculum though, so my kids will definitely get all of that plus some as they go along. So for Charlotte, I think that I have made the decision to go with the same curriculum that my big kids are going to be using, but I have until August to decide. So we're just going to be reading a lot of books with her this summer so that we can kind of get a good, clear picture of where her reading is going to be for the fall. Because I don't want to put her in something that's going to be frustrating or difficult for her. I want it to be challenging, but not discouraging, if that makes sense. So what we were using at the beginning of this past school year were Explode the Code and All About Reading. And then we ended up switching from those and a spelling. We were using Soaring with Spelling with her as well. We ended up switching to McRuffy Press. So we are not going to be using this this year as much as I would like to. If that was an option, I would have just continued with this. But our charter school decided that they were going to be very picky about what they were going to allow us to choose from in this next year. So for language arts, they had already kind of made that decision with math from last year, so I'm kind of waiting and to see if they will do that with either science or history in the coming year, but we'll see what happens with that. We're not going to borrow trouble. So we've got this. This is a great curriculum, you guys. It's really fun and engaging for my student. I'm really sad that we're not going to be using this, but we will. She's going to thrive no matter what we do. She's started to love to learn to read. And I was just telling somebody, who was I telling at the homeschool convention? Sarah McKenzie, the Read Aloud Revival person. I was just telling her that the second that school was officially over for the year and the pressure was off, my child, who struggled and bucked about reading the entire school year, picked up her first chapter book and started reading it and couldn't put it down. So I really feel like Charlotte's going to be just fine. And that's what I've been saying all along. So lesson learned. You know your kid better than anybody else. So we are not going to be using Explode the Code. All three of my kids so far have used Explode the Code. We have loved Explode the Code. I highly recommend this, especially in conjunction with All About Reading. If I feel like Charlotte is not progressing as well as I would like with her reading over the summer, we will do level 2 of All About Reading. However, that will also mean that we would have to go back to a phonics curriculum and a spelling curriculum, and I think they'd also be adding grammar, because I have to do a certain number of things to check off the boxes for the charter school. And so I would really like to not do that because, like I said, we're trying to kind of pare down the number of subjects that we're doing so that we can get through our school days a little quicker next year for some personal reasons. I have a fly that is like buzzing around. You guys, summertime is the worst for bugs, isn't it? So that is all, those are all the books that we are not using this year. Again, go ahead and click the link. I'll try to put it in the description box, but at the very beginning of this video, I posted a link in the cards for the video that shows what we are going to be doing for next school year. So I hope that you will check that out. And as always, I hope you guys are having a good week, and I will see you in my next video.